On 11 acres just outside of Fredericton's downtown, the third oldest building in New Brunswick sits solid on the bank of the St. John River. It is considered a tourist attraction for Fredericton and is also open for public tours. The walking trail flows behind Old Government House, giving walkers a view of what those from the river would have seen in the early days.
This room was originally the library in the glory days of Government House.
Principal Secretary to the Lieutenant Governor and ex-journalist Tim Richardson knows a thing or two about Old Government House.
I maintain that the Government House in Fredericton is behind the legislature, maybe the second most important building in the functioning of the province, past and present. And tremendous decisions were made here at one time and continue to be. But what's remarkable about this building is how open and accessible it has become. In the past 15 years, we welcome about 40,000 people a year through the door.
While visiting Old Government House, Mr. Richardson was kind enough to give me a tour.
The very first British sovereign came to Canada, and it was a trip of significance because no other monarch had ever come to Canada. And so the dishes are fairly elaborate in gold with the crest of George. Grandfather clock that we have here in the drawing room is important for a couple of reasons. It wasn't original to the house, but it's a gift to this house because it was made in Fredericton at the time that this house was in its glory days. It's one of 4 original pieces that we have here at Government House. To think that it was sold at public auction for $12 back in the 1890s, it's worth about $250,000 now. It's the original dining table made for this house in the 1820s. It was made by a gentleman by the name of Thomas Nesbitt, who came to New Brunswick from Scotland and came at the time when New Brunswick was a famous shipbuilding port. And a lot of guys, craftsmen like him, came here in search of a better life and came here to build ships. And then it wasn't too long after that the shipbuilding industry kind of fell out of favor because the steamship was introduced. And these guys who were working in places like St. John and St. Martin's and St. Andrews and St. George and St. Stephen building ships didn't have work done by the son of the governor of the day, painted in 1835 on January 1st. These were presented to the Royal New Brunswick Regiment, and one shows their troops' colors and then a list of all of the battles in which they took part. And so this may look like an antique tapestry, but in fact it's much more current, and it was to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the local Heritage Rug Hooking Guild. They took some artistic license and put in flags of the cultures, so there's the Canadian and provincial flag, the Union Jack, and the Acadian flag. And on the grounds are Acadians, First Nations, Loyalists, a reference to the Highland Games that currently takes place here on the grounds every summer. So it shows a collection of all cultures and how this place is, and what New Brunswick symbolizes, and how we should celebrate our differences. Sherry glasses, Waterford crystal, donated by a woman in Fredericton who felt that she didn't need them, wouldn't use them, but maybe we would.
Recently, a new Lieutenant Governor has been appointed. Her Honor, Jocelyn Waugh Vuonneau.
I have 3 causes that I have and that identify is the literacy. I would like to do something to improve literacy in New Brunswick. Work with groups to improve literacy. And another one is family violence. I would like to talk about family violence and try to find ways to diminish this in the province, because it's something that exists everywhere in the province, at every level of the society, and I think that is something that we have to talk about. And mental health also. I would like to talk about mental health, to help people cope with mental health in their family, because sometimes you have family that they are feeling alone when they have mental health problem in their family, so I would like to help them.
Since becoming Lieutenant Governor, Her Honor's husband, Ronald Vuonneau, has had his life changed.
I used to be retired. Yeah. Before she became Lieutenant Governor, I was fully retired. You know, I was enjoying my retirement. But now I still enjoy what I'm doing, but I can't say I'm retired anymore because I follow her everywhere she goes.
Although the British monarchy may seem like something from days gone by, it still plays an important role in modern Canadian politics. Old Government House brings that history back to life, showing New Brunswickers a piece of their historic past. The home is open for tours at any time of year. You just have to call ahead and make an appointment. At Old Government House in Fredericton, I'm Chris Robinson.